Hello everyone, Loremaster of Sotek here. So just a quick little video for two main reasons. One, I kind of wanted to do a test run with this program I'm using to see if the audio quality is notably better. I know in the Future of the Orcs video there was quite a few comments that were talking about how the just there was too much background noise and my voice was like too loud for the way I had said, or I had too much gain or something. I'm not sure. If you can't tell, I'm not super technologically gifted with this stuff. But in any event, so I'm trying something new. And I know someone who's particularly gifted with this program, so hopefully he'll be able to help me out sooner rather than later. But in any event, the other reason I wanted to make this video is I'm offering a bounty. And you may be thinking to yourself, what the hell does he mean by bounty? Well, I'll tell you. So, for those of you not familiar, or aware rather, in a few weeks probably, the Warhammer Fantasy 4th edition books are going to be shipping out the physical copies. I'm hoping the physical copies will arrive before the end of the month, but I'm not crossing my fingers about it. It's been pretty severely delayed just getting out the preview PDF build, so there's a good chance we won't be seeing the physical copies till September. But I really hope it's not any later than that, because that would just be absurd, because we were supposed to get them in July. But in any event, so I have pretty much announced so far that I intend to run a pretty epic, fun, interesting campaign that I will be displaying on the channel. I will have more information coming later about ways that people can contribute to the campaign, whether you're interested in being an assistant of some sort or a helper, someone who gets to be a part of the campaign but maybe doesn't have the time to play. You know, if you're one of those people, you'd be able to help me with various designs or making maps or what have you. And if you have a particular skill set, like map making or composing your own music, that way we could actually have music during the role play. That would be fun and display someone in the community, but you know, we wouldn't get slapped with copyright claims every time we try to put out a video. Or even as players, there will be kind of a selection process to determine who the players will be, because there's already kind of a long list of people who have asked if they could be a player, and obviously we don't want to have like 30 people. We only want to have like 5 at the most, but I digress. Before any of this can happen, we need character sheets. Now, the good news is you don't have to invent a character sheet, because there's one in the core rulebook, which is awesome and it makes a lot of sense and it's streamlined and it looks good. The bad news is that because this campaign will be played online and not in person, that means we're going to essentially have to create our own character sheets. Because I use a website called Roll20.net, which is a fantastic website for roleplay games, but unfortunately, it does not lend itself easily to people trying to play games that aren't already on there. So, for instance, Warhammer Fantasy RPG 2nd Edition has been made with character sheets on there, and there's a couple different versions, but they're all very impressive and gorgeous and allow you to put in a lot of information that basically just form a lot of macros. You know, so instead of having to roll a check, like you roll a D100 and then you have to like go look up your strength stat, and then you have to go somewhere else on your sheet to check if you have any talents, you know, and do all that crap. You can literally do it all in the sheet, so that you could be like, oh, okay, I'm rolling to hit with this weapon. I'll use my attack macro. Like, I just click this attack button, and it does all the math for you, takes into account everything you put into the sheet, it just does it. Which will make the game a lot faster and cleaner, quite frankly. And it's also great because it allows the GM to see everybody's character sheets, so they can kind of keep an eye on things, and if they need to do secret checks or things like that, it works well. So where I'm going with this is that there is currently not a 4th edition character sheet for Roll20.net. And it seems to take a while for the typical crowd on Roll20 to make a character sheet for a new game. Last I checked, which was today, the waiting list to get a character sheet made for a RPG was like, there's probably like 100 games on that list, and Warhammer Fantasy 4th Edition hadn't even been updated to be on the list yet. So that doesn't seem like a likely avenue of success. So what I am doing instead is, first of all, I'm basically putting out a call. If you are skilled with how to make a character sheet in Roll20, which I will put a link in the description below to Roll20's forums where they kind of mention how to create a character sheet and all that jazz. If you have the skill set, which to my understanding requires Java and some other web coding background, and you can make a character sheet and you're like, hey, I want to do this and make it look good and be an absolute hero to anyone and everyone who ever plays this game, great. However, I realize that many people don't do things just for a shout out. So, because this is very important to me, both personally and professionally, I am going to be offering, like I said, a bounty, where if you have the skill set to do this, and you are capable of doing it, then I would love to negotiate pay. So you would essentially make a character sheet that could be used, you know, gajillion times. You would design a character sheet on Roll20, and we would come to an agreement about how much you would be paid. And I'm fairly flexible when it comes to pay, though if you are someone who wants to pursue a paid position here, then it will need to be like professional quality. You know, I'm not gonna pay someone to come up with like a goofy like 10-line sheet that just is a bunch of ugly macros and it doesn't have any space to type your history, or it doesn't let you like mix and match all your talents and do all the, you know, all that shit. Like, it'll need to be, and we'll discuss it, but it'll need to be at least the quality of the 2nd edition character sheet that I will be showing here on screen in just a minute. I'll have it in this video. It'll need to be at least that level, and no less. Now, if we can get it better than that, that's great. But pay is completely negotiable. You know, especially if you do this professionally and you're like, okay, I get paid, you know, $25, $30, $40 an hour. So if this will take me X amount of hours and I expect this much money, great, we'll work it out. So in any event, if you're looking for some cash, or you just want to help out the community, either way, I'm going to give you a pretty immense shout out, because you won't just be helping me. You'll be helping anyone and everyone who wants to play this game. You know, it's not like I'm going to use this character sheet and then it will be gone forever. No, it's going to go up on Roll20's database most likely, and at that point it will essentially be immortalized, and anyone and everyone who ever plays this game on Roll20, which will probably be a fairly significant crowd, especially once the game gets out physically and is easier to gain access to, everyone will use that sheet. If it's well designed, which is why the good design is important to me. So in any event, the only other thing I want to say is that also in the description down below, I have a link to my Discord channel. And in my Discord, we have opened a new channel called the Crafters Guild. And the Crafters Guild is for anyone who wants to help with the roleplay. You literally just go in there and you can say, hey, I'm good at XYZ, or I suck at everything, but I want to help. What can I do? And we will do our best to find a job for you if you're interested. We already have a number of people, a small number of people, who have been working. A member of our community named Keblum found a rather ingeniously easy way to import character models from Total War Warhammer, which is fantastic for a Warhammer-based role-playing game. But if you're like an artist and want to create your own tokens, we definitely could use someone who can make player tokens based on the players that we have, the PCs. We definitely need someone to make NPC tokens for, you know, shopkeeps and other generic things that aren't soldiers. You know, there are rare monsters and other creatures that aren't in Total War Warhammer that will need tokens. But, and like I said earlier, maybe you're good at designing maps, or you're good at designing dungeons, or you're good at designing music, or what have you. Come talk to us. We'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to have you be a part of the process. I really hope for the roleplay, when it begins, to be a fairly beloved thing, and to be fun to watch and interesting, which will be experimenting with the format for that. You know, it's not, I don't think I'm going to do what I was used to be doing, which is, you know, I'd live stream 5 hours and just slap it on there. You know, it'll probably be cut up into like 30-minute segments, so it's bite-sized. But in any event, I have talked for way too long about a little simple thing. So, hopefully, I'm going to listen back to this and the audio quality will be better. And if it is, feel free to let me know. And for anyone wondering, I'm using Audacity, so hopefully I can kind of learn to use it well. And I intend to get better at it, and if it sounds much, much better, then feel free to let me know. I do read all the comments, all of them, for better or worse. And then the biggest thing is the character sheets. If you have a skill set that would allow you to make them, please, 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 or you know someone on like Roll20's website that you can get in contact with who knows how to make them, please let me know. Please reach out to me on Discord. Just shoot me a private message, because I'll have my Discord down below, or you can just, you know, at me. But in any event, I would really appreciate that. And of course, the Discord will be in the description below, which you should just come join the community just to hang out. But if you're there and you want something to do, then by all means, come help out. Or you want to apply to be a player or any of that shit. So yeah, more details coming out in the future. We've got, for anyone who's watching and just doesn't come to the live streams and is just wondering what the hell's going on these days, we've got the Norska Q&A coming up very soon. There was a ton of questions for that. So that one might have to be broken up into a couple parts, but you know, we'll play it by ear. So we got the Norska Q&A coming out soon. We've got Carragate Peaks Week slowly approaching, which I think I've been saying for at least 6 months now, but, you know, we're getting there. We've got a experimental campaign starting probably in the next 2 weeks, assuming nothing crazy happens, which there will be more details on that when it's ready to roll. And then the Future of the Vampire Counts will probably be out by this weekend. Which will be like the Future of series, but for the Vampire Counts, which it should be the shortest of the series, unless I could see Norska ending up pretty short, but Vampire Counts will be fairly short. In any event, thank you all for watching. I apologize that I turned a simple message into a 14-minute ramble, but you know, I'm sure you're used to it by now. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.